There's 1,000 different ways to make money reselling clothing. In my opinion, the easiest clothing, used clothing to sell is performance merino. Performance merino is different than just standard merino. Like this is a merino sweater from Theory. It's soft, it's nice. I would wear this out to a restaurant. This is what I'm talking about. Something like this, performance merino smart wool vest. It's, you kind of know it when you see it. It's a little coarser a lot of the time. It's certainly not scratchy and itchy and thick in the way that standard wool is. It's made from merino sheep, so it's a little softer, a little warmer, and a lot of the time the performance merino will have spandex and polyester content mixed in with it. It's also dependent upon brand. The reason I love merino so much is the demand is sometimes like standard double whatever the comparable like cotton blends piece in the same category would be. The demand is almost always higher. It sells year round, and there's a larger margin of error. A lot of people buy merino wool, performance merino wool from these brands to wear as a base layer for outdoor activities, so they don't really care about the aesthetics as much. It's a purpose-driven life, Rick Warren. People buy it for all kinds of different activities for different reasons. Some people do buy it just because they're used to wearing it, and they think it looks nice and it feels nice. It regulates your body temperature, it wicks moisture. So they wear it to the office, they wear it kayaking, all the above. And there's all kinds of categories of people who seek this stuff out. And it's one of those kinds of clothing that people are more than happy to pay up for. Even for a basic piece like this t-shirt, this basic black performance merino t-shirt that I thrifted for myself. The brand is Proof. This is worth 30, 40 bucks. I could throw this up on eBay and sell it within a few days for about that much money. People are willing to pay up for it because they perceive it as being more useful. It just is like a more useful kind of a garment to have around that serves different purposes. It also looks nice, doesn't wrinkle when you pack it into your luggage, so it's popular with travelers. And for that reason, if you find it with flaws, if you find it with a reasonable amount of flaws like pinholes or little stains, people will still buy it because they're wearing it a lot of the time simply because it's high utility. They don't care, they're wearing other layers over it. It's just to wick the moisture, just to regulate the body temperature, and because it feels nice on the skin. I would say if you find a merino piece, even if it's not 100% merino, if it's just a merino blend from a major outdoor clothing brand, it fits these criteria, I would pick it up as long as it's reasonably priced and flip it. Always helps to do a little bit of homework before you make these purchases. Just double check the market. The market is probably going to be pretty forgiving. A lot of the prestige merino, performance merino outdoors brands are unconditional buys for me, are virtually unconditional buys. Some of those brands are Icebreaker. Icebreaker's super popular. Don't confuse it with Iceberg, which is an Italian designer brand, which is also good, but you're looking for Icebreaker. It is better, and it's mostly this performance merino stuff. Ibex is kind of the gold standard in my mind for performance merino wool. It's really not common. It's crazy expensive, so people tend to not donate it so much. I've never, ever once struggled to sell it, and even basic stuff, you can make big asks and probably someone will play ball. Smart wool is another one. That's the vest I just showed you. It will sell itself. You can sell it with holes. You can sell it with stains. Within reason, people will still seek it out and buy it. And I would say smart wool probably is the one that I found the most out of all those. Any major outdoor clothing brand like Patagonia, Arc'teryx, North Face, if you find merino stuff from them, the sell-through is probably going to be great, and you can expect, again, an above average return. So something like a t-shirt, you could reasonably expect to ask 30 bucks just for a basic plain t-shirt, and probably the market will support that. Again, no promises, there are no guarantees. This is as close as we get though. Outside of those brands that I listed, there's also tons and tons and tons of niche little outdoor brands. Some of them are merino wool specialized brands. Some of them are not. They're just niche-y, boutique-y outdoors brands. There's a very long list of them. It's good to kind of maybe like familiarize yourself with them. Look at those lists online of the top outdoors brands for clothing, not necessarily for resale, but for like, you know, consumers. And also familiarize yourself with the feel, the texture of the clothing. This feels different than a standard t-shirt. You can just tell after a while in the hand that something is merino. Like this has no material tag in it, but I know for a fact that this is probably a merino blend just because of its weight, its slinkiness, and how it reads to the fingertips. What people are searching for are the brand and then wool or merino wool. Performance merino, I don't think is a particularly common key phrase to search. You will find these things not all that often, but you will find them here and there. And it's a great thing to throw in your cart, pepper into your inventory, and it will probably sell much faster and for better margins than your other stuff. If there was only one category of used clothing that I could find to sell, assuming that I was still doing full-time clothing reselling, it would be this. It would be this. It's the most beginner-friendly category. It's the most foolproof. It's the easiest to make money with, I think. I wish it was more consistent. I wish you found it more often. But oh well. Works for men, works for women, works for everything. Kids, it's easy mode. It's very easy mode. It's bowling with the bumpers on. Case in point, I was shopping around, have been shopping around for stuff for my upcoming nomading excursion. I'm moving abroad full time, and I've just been accumulating a bunch of clothing for myself. And I've found stuff like this performance merino wool stuff. I found one that was ultimately not a good fit for me. It made me look like a sausage. So I just threw it up on eBay, even though I shut my eBay store down because I knew that it was going to sell itself in a matter of days. And it did. Got it for $1. Took a couple minutes of work, threw it up on eBay. It was out the door within, I think, like 4 days or something, and I had $30 in my pocket. So if you're just wanting to cut your teeth on clothing reselling, you don't really have your sea legs, you don't necessarily know what you're doing, I would focus on this as your first foray, or just have this at the forefront of your mind when you're outsourcing, because your job will be 3 times easier when you find this stuff. So hope it helps. Hope you make some good money on it. Good luck.